here to talk about something that has been on my mind lately. I'm here to ramble to you about it. It is completely unrelated to what you may or may not be watching. So, there's that. I've thought a lot lately about what I think is a difference between art and artistry. Art, and artistry. I have two particular artists in mind when I think about this, and I am just curious if others think about artists in this way. I don't know. So, what do I mean by artistry? That is a good question. I believe that in this context it is purely a abstract, personal definition. It is just kind of how I feel when I engage with an artist's art. So, the artistry of Guillermo del Toro, for instance, is kind of where this whole thing started, because I love films and I love filmmaking, and I enjoy some of Guillermo del Toro's films, but I am not as big a fan of his as some friends of mine, and I used to feel a bit guilty about that, because he is by no means a bad filmmaker. If anything, he's a great filmmaker. He's an auteur for a reason, but his films don't speak to me the way that they do some of my friends. And I thought on that more and came to the conclusion that while I don't necessarily love all of his films the way that my friends do, there are outliers. I do really like some of his films. I think of Crimson Peak and Pinocchio when I think of him, and I think of the upcoming Frankenstein that I'm very excited for as well. But I don't love his catalog the way that some of my friends do, and I think that's okay, because what I do really appreciate about Guillermo is his artistry. I love listening to him speak about films. I love listening to him speak about his own filmmaking, and I love listening to him speak about the films that he loves and has been inspired by. I love listening to the opinions that he has about Hollywood today, and I very much agree with a lot of his opinions on certain topics, which I will not delve deeper into, but all of those things just endear me to him, and when I watch his movies, I can feel how much passion and creative spirit he puts into all of his projects. Whether or not they speak to me doesn't necessarily matter to me because I will always watch a new Guillermo del Toro film, and I intend to watch some of his older films that I haven't seen yet, based solely on the fact that I am very grateful to be alive and witnessing his artistry. I am very, very inspired by him as an artist myself and as a creative person, and it makes me really happy to see that he has as much influence as he does right now. And I think that it's kind of an interesting separation between him as a creative and whether or not I necessarily connect with all of his creative endeavors, if you know what I mean. One of my favorite things about his catalog is his prolific use of practical filmmaking, his creature designs, his persistent use of practical sets and really big and important costume design, and just everything about the technical aspects of a lot of his films. I really admire and I love to see, but still, I don't necessarily love all of those films, and I think it's okay to kind of have that separate appreciation for just an artist in their field and the art that they make. I feel similarly about some musicians. The first person that comes to mind, who I think of in a similar light, is Ethel Cain. I know she has a very large fan base, and I have a lot of friends who are part of that, and I will always listen to her projects and engage with her art, but they simply don't speak to me the same way that they do my friends. But again, I think that's okay because I really admire the amount of detail and passion that she puts into her projects, and I'm also happy to be around to witness and engage with what she creates as an artist. I guess it makes me happy that people like this are still making art and still have as great of a creative presence as they do. And I wonder if other people feel similarly about artists. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to my ramble. I am interested to hear what you think